Hello. In today's video, we shall learn in detail about animal tissues. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding about the different types of animal tissues, namely epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue, along with differences between striated muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle, areolar tissue and adipose tissue, bones and cartilage, tendons and ligaments, blood and lymph. Let us start with the introduction to animal tissues. The study of tissue is known as histology. Animal tissue refers to the group of cells in animals which have similar structure and function. On the basis of their functions, the animal tissues can be broadly classified into epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue may originate from ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm of the embryo. It performs various functions like protection, secretion, absorption, and excretion. Connective tissue originates from the mesoderm of the embryo and helps in transportation, protection, and also gives strength and support. Muscular epithelium also originates from the mesoderm of the embryo and helps in the movement and locomotion of the body. Nervous tissue makes its origin from the ectoderm of the embryo and is responsible for control and coordination of the body. Let us look into the classification of animal tissues. Animal tissues can be broadly classified into epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue can be further divided into squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, and glandular epithelium. Muscular tissue can be divided into striated or skeletal or voluntary muscle, non-striated or smooth or involuntary muscle, and cardiac muscle. Connective tissue may be loose connective tissue like areolar tissue and adipose tissue, or it may be dense connective tissue like tendon and ligament. Connective tissue may be skeletal tissue like bone and cartilage, or it may be a fluid tissue like blood and lymph. By the way, if you're getting some value out of this video, please like and share the video so that all of us can learn, unlearn, and relearn together. Also, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Next, we shall learn about the characteristics of epithelial tissues. These are the simplest kind of animal tissue which form a protective covering of the entire surface of the body and also lines the internal organs and hence known as protective tissue. The cells are closely packed with no intercellular matrix. The cells are held together by intercellular junctions, desmosomes, etc. The epithelial tissue rests on a thin, non-cellular basement membrane. It separates the epithelial tissue from the underlying tissue Epithelial tissue, when composed of one layer of cell, is known as simple epithelium. It is called as compound epithelium when it is made up of many layers. Next, let us study the functions of epithelial tissues. The epithelial tissue covers the body surface and provides protection to the underlying tissue from mechanical injury, desiccation, entry of germs, etc. This tissue forms inner lining of mouth, alimentary canal, and other internal organs and thus gives protection. Epithelial tissue helps in the elimination of nitrogenous and other waste products. Epithelial lining of the intestine helps in the absorption of water and digested food. Epithelial tissue secretes various hormones into the blood vascular system. The secretions of saliva, mucus, sweat, enzymes, and other products that are delivered by ducts come from the glandular epithelium. Next are the different types of epithelial tissues. First, squamous epithelium. The cells of squamous epithelium are flat, thin, tile-like, and therefore it is commonly known as pavement epithelium. Simple squamous epithelium forms a single layer of delicate lining as found in esophagus and mouth. It also lines the blood vessels, alveoli of lungs, etc. Simple squamous epithelium facilitates diffusion in tissues, helps in gaseous exchange, and also secretes lubricating substances. Striated squamous epithelium are multilayered as found in the skin to prevent wear and tear. In cuboidal epithelium, cells are short, cube-like, with a round nucleus in the center. It lines the salivary ducts, pancreatic duct, and various glands. It is also present in the tubule of nephron in the kidney. It helps in secretion, excretion, absorption, etc. In columnar epithelium, cells are tall, pillar-like, with nucleus situated at the base. It lines the internal surface of stomach and intestine. It gives protection and helps in absorption and secretion. Columnar epithelium of intestine is specialized for the absorption of water and digested food. In ciliated epithelium, cilia are present on the free surface of cuboidal as well as columnar cells. Ciliated cuboidal epithelium lines the urinary tubules of kidney, while ciliated columnar epithelium lines the respiratory passage, oviduct, etc. It helps in the movement of mucus, urine, sperms, etc. Pseudostratified epithelium appears to be more than one cell thick because the nuclei lie at different heights, but it is actually a single layer of cells which are in contact with the basement membrane. In transitional epithelium, the cells are rounded and can slide across one another to allow stretching. Glandular epithelium are modified columnar cells which secrete chemicals. It lines the gastric glands, intestinal glands, etc. The second type of animal tissue is the muscular tissue. It is a specialized tissue which is composed of contractile fiber-like cells. It has special ability to shorten or contract in order to produce movements of the body parts. The contraction and relaxation of contractile proteins present in the muscle cells bring about this movement. This tissue is highly cellular and is well supplied with blood vessels. The cytoplasm in the muscle fibers is called sarcoplasm. The membrane surrounding the muscle fibers is called sarcolemma. There are three types of muscle fibers. They are striated muscle, otherwise known as skeletal muscle or voluntary muscle, unstriated muscles, otherwise known as smooth muscle or involuntary muscles, and cardiac muscles. Striated muscles or skeletal muscles are attached to the bones or skeleton and are also called the skeletal muscles. The contraction and relaxation of these muscles are under the control of the individual and are therefore also called the voluntary muscles. The cells are long, cylindrical, unbranched, with non-tapering ends, multinucleated, and enclosed in a plasma membrane known as sarcolemma. The nucleus is situated at the periphery near the sarcolemma. The muscle fibers show alternate light and dark bands or striations, and hence they are also called striated muscles. The light and dark bands are sarcomeres, which are highly organized structures of actin, myosin, and other proteins. The striated muscles help in the voluntary movements of the body, like the movement of hands and legs. Next is the unstriated muscles or smooth muscles. Cells or fibers of unstriated muscles are long, narrow, spindle-shaped with pointed ends. A single nucleus is situated at the center of the cell. Striations are absent and hence known as smooth muscles. They are involuntary muscles and are not under one's control. They occur in the walls of the alimentary canal, blood vessels, etc. Smooth muscle tissue contraction is responsible for involuntary movements in the internal organs. Next is the cardiac muscles. It consists of short, cylindrical, branched fibers forming a network. These fibers are uninucleate and show faint alternate light and dark bands. Intercalated discs occur between the ends of fibers. These muscles are found only in the heart. Heart pumps the blood throughout the body by cardiac contraction and maintains blood pressure. Having learnt the characteristic features of skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle, let us find out the differences between them. Cells of striated muscles are long, cylindrical, unbranched, with non-tapering ends. Cells of smooth muscles are long, spindle-shaped, unbranched, with tapering ends. Cells of cardiac muscles are cylindrical, branched, non-tapering, with intercalated disc. Cells of striated muscles are multinucleated, Nucleus is situated towards the periphery of the fiber. Cells of smooth muscles are uninucleated. Nucleus is situated in the center. Cells of cardiac muscles are uninucleate. Nucleus is situated in the center. Striated muscles show the presence of alternate light and dark bands or striations. Striations are absent in smooth muscles. Cells of cardiac muscles show faint striations. Striated muscles are voluntary. Smooth muscles are involuntary. Cardiac muscles are also involuntary. Striated muscles are present in hands and legs attached to bones. Smooth muscles are present in the walls of the alimentary canal. Cardiac muscles present only in heart for rhythmic contraction and relaxation. Third type of animal tissue is the connective tissue. In animals, connective tissues help in binding and joining one tissue to another. They act as protective sheath and also as packing material around different organs. Connective tissue also carry materials from one part to another in the body. They also work as a supportive framework for the body. Cells are loosely spaced and are embedded in matrix. Matrix may be jelly-like, fluid, dense, or rigid. Let us learn about the different types of connective tissues. The different types of connective tissues are loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, skeletal connective tissue, and fluid or vascular connective tissue. Loose connective tissue has more ground substance and lack fibrous tissue. Examples are alveolar tissue and adipose tissue. Dense connective tissue is characterized by collagen fibers and provide strength. Examples are tendon and ligament. Examples of skeletal connective tissues are bones and cartilage. Examples of fluid connective tissues are blood and lymph. Let us understand the different types of connective tissues by comparing one with the other. We shall first look into the differences between areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Areolar tissue consists of different types of cells, namely fibroblasts, mast cells, macrophages, and plasma cells. Adipose tissue is made up of similar types of cells called adipocytes. Areolar tissue contains transparent jelly-like matrix with white collagen fibers made up of protein collagen and yellow elastin fibers made up of protein elastin, reticular fibers, and several other types of cells. Adipose tissue contains cells filled with fat globules scattered in the matrix. The matrix contains fibroblasts, macrophages, collagen, and elastin fibers. Areolar tissue are found beneath the epithelial, between the skin and muscles, around blood vessels, nerves, and bone marrow. Adipose tissue are found beneath the skin, around the kidneys, and other internal organs. Areolar tissue fills space inside the organs, supports internal organs, and helps in the repair of tissues. Adipose tissue gives mechanical cushioning to the body, provides protection to the internal organs. It stores fat, acts as a reservoir and insulator of heat. Next is the differences between bone and cartilage. Bone is hard, rigid, tough, inelastic or not flexible. Cartilage is soft, elastic and flexible. Bones are made up of osteoblasts, osteocytes, osteoclasts. Cartilage is made up of chondrocytes. Matrix of bone is both organic and inorganic. Matrix of cartilage consists of entirely organic matter. Matrix of bone contains protein osine and calcium phosphate. Matrix of cartilage contains protein chondrine and usually lacks calcium. Bones have rich supply of blood. Cartilage do not have blood supply. Growth of bones is bidirectional, that is, they grow in both directions. Growth of cartilage is unidirectional. Osteocytes or bone cells have irregular outline due to the presence of a number of protoplasmic outgrowths. Cells of cartilage, chondrocytes, are oval in outline. The lacunae or spaces in bones are provided with numerous fine branches called canaliculi. Canaliculi are absent in cartilage. Matrix of bone shows concentric lamellae. Matrix is homogeneous in cartilage. Bone has Haversian canals and marrow cavity. Haversian canals and marrow cavity are absent in cartilage. Bone is highly vascularized. Cartilage is avascular. Bones protect many delicate tissues and organs against mechanical damage, assist in the movement of the body, provides framework and shape for the body. Bones also store minerals and produce RBCs and WBCs. Cartilage helps in reducing friction at joints, supports respiratory tract, absorbs stresses, acts as shock absorber, and provides flexibility to the body parts. Now, we shall look into the differences between tendons and ligaments. Tendons connect the skeletal muscles with the bones. Ligaments connect bones to other bones at joints. Tendons are very tough and inelastic. Ligaments are highly elastic and flexible. Tendons are made up of white fibrous tissue. Yellow elastic fibers are absent. Ligaments are made up of mainly yellow elastic fibers. The white fibrous tissue also occur. Tendons have elongated fibroblasts arranged in continuous rows. Fibroblasts lie scattered in ligaments. Next is the fluid tissue or vascular tissue. It consists of a fluid matrix in which free floating cells are suspended. It includes blood and lymph. Blood is formed of two parts, plasma 55% and cells that float freely in the plasma, namely blood corpuscles 45%. Blood plasma consists of 90% water, 7% plasma protein and 3% other substances like food materials, waste materials, cholesterol, etc. Blood corpuscles are of three types: red blood corpuscles or erythrocytes or RBC, white blood corpuscles or leukocytes or WBC, and platelets or thrombocytes. When the cytoplasm of WBC are granular, they are known as granulocytes. And when the cytoplasm is agranular, then WBC is known as agranulocytes. Granulocytes are of three kinds: eosinophils with bilobed nucleus, basophils with twisted nucleus, neutrophils with 3 to 5 lobed nucleus. Agranulocytes are of two kinds: lymphocytes with large round nucleus and monocytes with kidney-shaped nucleus. Next is blood plasma. It is an alkaline viscous fluid containing 90 to 92% water and 8 to 10% of solutes. Plasma proteins are albumin, globulin, heparin, fibrinogen, and prothrombin. Plasma also contains nutrients, water, hormones, and osmoregulators. Blood plasma helps in transport of nutrients, carbon dioxide, waste products, hormones, etc. It also regulates water balance, pH, and body temperature. Blood corpuscles are suspended in plasma and are of three types: erythrocytes or RBC, leukocytes or WBC, and thrombocytes or platelets. Erythrocytes or RBCs are biconcave, disc-like cells devoid of nucleus. They contain oxygen-carrying protein pigment hemoglobin. The important function of RBC is to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Leukocytes or WBC are large-sized nucleated cells. They are capable of amoeboid movement and play an important role in the body's defense mechanism. Blood platelets or thrombocytes are irregular shaped, non-nucleated. They play a major role in blood clotting. Let us learn about lymph. Lymph is a colorless fluid. It transports materials between blood and tissue cells. The lymph is filtered out of the blood capillaries but differs from blood in lacking RBC, platelets, and some blood proteins. Lymph transports absorbed fats from the intestine to the blood. It maintains balance of blood and tissue fluid. It destroys the invading microorganisms and foreign particles. Lymph carries carbon dioxide and metabolic waste that diffuse into tissue fluid to the blood. Finally, we shall learn about nervous tissue. It is made up of specialized cells called nerve cells or neurons for conduction of nerve impulses. The brain, spinal cord, and nerves are all composed of nervous tissue. Each neuron is elongated and consists of three parts: cell body or cyton, dendrites, and axon. The cyton or cell body contains a central nucleus, cytoplasm, and special kind of granules called Niles's granules, which are groups of ribosomes and rough endoplasmic reticulum. From the cell body arises a single long nerve fiber, the axon, and many branch structures called dendrites. Axon carries impulses away from the cell body to other neurons. Dendrites conduct nerve impulses towards the cell body. In some nerve fibers, the axon has a thick covering called the medullary sheath. The terminal end of axon is without sheath and branched. Each branch ends in a swollen structure called the synaptic knob, which are connected with dendrite branches of an adjacent neuron. The region of communication between two neurons is synapse. It is meant for transmission of nerve impulses from one neuron to the other. So today we have learnt in detail about epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. I have some practice questions for you. Please share your answers in the comment section below. You can pause the video and write down the questions if you like. Thank you so much for your time and participation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Also, if you want to discuss any particular topic in biology, please mention that in the comments section below. I'll see you there. Goodbye. All the best.